Willie D live.
What's up, family? Some Texans and organizations have expressed strong disapproval of Donald Trump, your president, and Governor Greg Abbott. Oh, yeah, fam, they're finally sick and tired. They are disapproving of them over what? What are the main concerns? Healthcare, border policies, political maneuvering. Yeah, fam, the critics are on their heads. Let's start with border militarization. The critics say that the duo is doing a bunch of size BS of lies and hate, yeah, on the Texas-Mexican border, arguing that their actions are for show because what they're doing is unnecessarily causing division. Yeah. Now, when it comes to healthcare and the economy, the Texas Democratic Party has blamed them for potential government shutdowns and reduced healthcare access, claiming these actions are detrimental to Texans. Political priorities. Concerns have been raised regarding a focus on gerrymandering and redrawing maps during crisis, as shown by reactions from Texas AFL-CIO. And check this out, fam. Some Texan Republicans have previously expressed dissatisfaction with Governor Abbott, though he maintains strong Trump-aligned right-leaning policies. Now, you know that's a problem when the Republicans start turning on Republicans because they typically stick together, no matter what. I mean, you can do their family members dirty. You can slap their mama. Man, you can talk about their wife. Ted Cruz. Y'all remember when Ted Cruz allowed Trump to talk about his wife and he did nothing? Well, he did do something. He kissed his butt and endorsed him again. Yeah. Ted Cruz is 1,000% spineless. In any event, fam, these two right here, but this guy right here, he's affectionately called Hot Wheels in H-Town. Yeah, well, in Texas, all of Texas, they call him Hot Wheels. This dude, he don't have a spine. Hey, take that how you want to take it. But this dude, he just acquiesced to whatever Trump wants him to do, whatever Trump says, that's what goes. Trump opened his mouth, and here come Greg Abbott, sticking his tongue in it. Yeah, man, the dude just don't have a backbone, man. Yeah. Anything Trump wants to do, he knows he automatically has Greg Abbott's support. If you notice, take a look at this picture right here. Look at that picture. Look at Greg Abbott's condition. He's handicapped. Look at his legs. You know Trump don't appreciate that, right? You know Trump do not appreciate that. Trump don't like Greg Abbott. He's not the type of person that Trump would consider a stand-up dude. He's not the type of person that Trump would hang out with because he's handicapped. And we all know Trump despises handicapped people. I wonder what that voting ratio was for handicapped people. I bet a lot of them voted for him. Ain't that crazy? Isn't that crazy how people vote against their own, their self-interest? There are a lot of handicapped people, disabled people, I can guarantee you, who voted for Trump. But it looks like the tide might be turning in Texas. Wouldn't that be something? Abbott has had the governorship on lock. The Republicans have had the governorship on lock in Texas for a while now. It would have been unthinkable for somebody to run against Abbott just a few years ago because they got it on lock. I think they're cheating myself. I think they're cheating. But there are some contenders out there who's coming for Abbott's seat. And I do think that for the first time in a long time, he's going to be facing some serious threats. For the first time in a long time, he's going to face some serious threats. Family, what happened to those drug boats in Venezuela? You know, it's all about fentanyl, the drug boats. And what happened to that? You know, we don't hear about that anymore. Kind of like the Epstein case, kind of just went away. Just went away. I wonder how many innocent people were actually murdered. Probably all of them. Just to prove a point and just to have an excuse to invade Venezuela. That's cold-blooded right there. Remember when Abbott dropped all of those illegal immigrants off in New York? He put them on buses, and he dropped them off in New York. You know, he was like, yeah, you know, since he didn't like the policies in New York, so he didn't like the immigration policy, so he bused a bunch of illegal immigrants into New York, and then New York, they turned around and gave those immigrants vouchers for housing, hotel accommodations, food, transportation. Yeah, public transportation, but transportation. They gave them aid that they didn't even give tax-paying citizens of New York. Hey, that's cold, fam. What other country? I was thinking, like, what other country can you go to and get that type of action? Like, what other country puts foreigners before their own citizens? Where else can you go and get that type of action? But that comes all the way down to identity politics and money. Because at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about. This is why these politicians in America are so corrupt, because they put the dollar before everything. They put that money before everything. This is why you can have somebody like Trump, who's a billionaire, who will run for president or run for public office, and he sits in there as long as he can, because the longer he sits there, the faster he can grow his bank account. Now remember, I said I'm being generous about him being a billionaire, but a lot of reports said he was not a billionaire. That was a lie. He was exaggerating. But he's damn sure a millionaire now, because he used the Oval Office, you know, to make a bunch of sweet deals for himself and his family. So they've been getting billions. They've gotten billions just in the first year. See, that first year was the first term was the testing ground. He was like just trying stuff, see what he can get away with. He was doing as much as he could. Then he crossed the line. So he ended up getting kicked out of the office. But upon returning, the idea was, let me run for president again to save my own skin. Because if I can get in, I can guarantee I'm not going to jail. And I can pay back some of my rivals. I can get at my enemies. I can put everybody in jail, and I can get these January 6th riders off the hook. I can go out here and make some more deals, because, man, if they don't put me in jail for this, they ain't gonna put me in jail for nothing. That boy got 34 felonies. 34 felonies. In the history of the United States, I do not believe anybody has ever been convicted of 34 felonies and never spent one day in prison, one day in jail. He's never spent 24 hours in jail. I don't think he's ever spent an hour in jail. I think the longest time he's ever spent is when he went and got his fingers printed. And I'm not even certain that they probably brought the jail to him. I doubt if he went to jail to get fingerprinted. Absolutely amazing. You can't tell me that this white privilege thing don't exist. You can't tell me that. I never believe it. Because we know there ain't a black man in America could have gotten away with that. Let's all together, fam. Let's all get together and get both of these dudes up out of here. It's time for Abbott to go. He shouldn't have never been in. He should have never gotten in. And it's time for Trump to go. He should have never gotten in. The cold part that I want y'all to understand, for all of y'all out there riding for Trump, all of y'all out there riding for him, ask yourself this question. Would he ride for you? Would he do the same thing for you? Would he risk being ostracized in his social circles for you? Would he risk being fired from a position, losing money for you? Would he go to war for you? Would he fight your battles like you're fighting his battles? Would he be on the internet challenging people and getting all upset, agitated? Would he do that for you? Would he take a life for you? If your answer is not a resounding yes, you are a dummy. A first-class dummy, if that's such a thing. No more talk.